Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday to all of you. Thank you for being here today. And if you're catching us on the replay, thank you for watching the replay and let us know what kind of self care you got up to. So, I am very tired today. This past weekend, we went to visit my dad, stayed at his house, of course, and then went to visit my mom in the nursing home. And she slept the whole time. We tend to be awake and to be agitated because she, as most of you know, if you've watched my channel, my mom is in end stage Parkinson's and she has lost a lot of her physical abilities and most of her mental as well. So it's it's one of the most horrible things I've ever had to experience in my entire life to feel this pain myself and my sister to feel this and my dad, and then however much my mom may or may not be aware of what's going on, it's painful for me to see her like that and to not know how much of her is in there somewhere, feeling pain. It's just oh, I don't even think there are words to describe it. So yesterday I did a little bit of writing, but I just did a lot of reading and getting caught up on some YouTube videos, just a lot of self care yesterday. And today I'm going to, on our first sprint, I'm going to make some oatmeal cookie bars. And then I'm going to do some reading and some taking notes and stuff like that, because it's just heavy. It's a lot, and I have to give myself permission to not do as much when I'm in this state that I'm in right now. This it's mentally and emotionally exhausting, but it's also physically exhausting. Grief takes part in the entirety of the body, which is something that I'm learning as I go through this experience with my mom. So I'm happy to be able to connect with you all today, and to talk about self care and to encourage one another. So I'm going to check our comments. No, excuse me now. Hello, M. How are you today? Hey, Eleanor. How are you? Hellos and hi. Yeah, it is so much because just seeing my mom in that condition and then my dad just watching this happen, and we don't know how much longer my mom has, and it's just you just every day I just feel like I'm living in some kind of nightmare, like this can't be real, but unfortunately it is all too real. And I'm trying to like grasp onto any part of my mom that I can. So whenever I go, now I've started getting some of her recipes, and then my sister and I, we go over the recipes together and make copies and stuff like that. And so just holding on to the remnants, of who she was, because who she is now, that's not really her. And that's something else that sometimes, like in my brain, that the signals get crossed because some days it seems like all I can remember her as is how she is now. And then other days I think about her more in the past and how it used to be, and it's just this strange like back and forth in my brain. So other than that, I was trying to think of any big things really going on. Not a lot right now. Just trying to get through the summer, which is my least favorite time of year. It is so hot and so humid. But I am thankful that where I live, we have air conditioner, which is pretty much a necessity to have air conditioner when you live in Alabama. You pretty much have to have air conditioner. But I am grieved for the people of Europe in the places where they're having just unheard of heat waves, and so a lot of them don't have air conditioner because there wasn't ever really, I guess, necessarily a need for it. And I've read that so many people have died as a result of this heat wave, and it just breaks my heart to think about that. So I am thankful that I do have air conditioner, and I can get through the summer with that at least. But yeah, it's just it's a terrible time, terrible, terrible. And I was also trying to trying to think. My brain is not braining too well today, trying to think about other things that are going on. I am still in Summer Spooks, which is hosted by E.D. Lewis at Nocturnal Reviews. So that goes through July 4th or July 5th if you want to have a bonus day. So I am using my bonus day. And for that, I am listening to the audiobook for Annihilation and continuing to read some short horror stories that focus on botanical horror. And I'm going to watch the movie Annihilation once I finish the book. But I'm really enjoying the book so far. It's weird. You've got this group that starts out a psychologist, an anthropologist, a surveyist, and a biologist going to explore this area called Area X. And people who have explored this area have either disappeared or taken their own lives or unalived each other or come back as different people, but then eventually they died from cancer. So now we're with this new group going to explore Area X, and it's very like eerie and unsettling because they find this, what some of them call a tower and some call a tunnel, but there's like writing, cursive kind of writing on the wall, except it's done through this like fungus, is what it's written as. And it's a creepy thing, and strange things are happening. That's all I can really say because I wouldn't want to spoil anything. And it's a pretty short audiobook, like 6 hours or so. And I really am enjoying it so far, but I keep having to pause my audiobook. I love listening to audiobooks, but when I want to write about something, I have to like pause the audiobook so I can take notes in my notebook, because I'm not going to remember stuff, from an audiobook if I don't take those notes. So I'm going through it pretty slowly, but it's really good. And I am looking forward to watching the movie because I haven't read the book before, so I haven't watched the movie either. So I'm looking forward to that. I'd love to know what you all, have gotten up to for your self-care. Let me know. Leslie M said, yeah, I mean, it's just like whenever we have hurricanes during the summer, a lot of times we will be without power, sometimes for a week or even 2 weeks. We do have a generator so that then we can, hook up our window units, and we have like a big like rolling unit for that, events such as that. but then we all have to like camp out in my living room and dining room area so we can all be in there with the air. But the last time we had a hurricane that knocked our power out was 2020, and that was Hurricane Zeta, and we were without power for 2 weeks, but it happened in the middle of October. So we were actually experiencing cool temperatures in October at that time, which here where I am, we never know if we're going to have a cool or a hot October. Thankfully, it was cool then, where we had like highs only in the 60s and then lows in the 40s at night. So we just kept our windows open and we have plenty of cool, air that way. And we lost a big cedar tree in my backyard and pine trees across the street and, lots of trees down. But every time you stepped outside or the wind, when the wind blew the scent inside, we could smell pine and cedar. So it was devastating to lose all the trees, but at the same time we had a pleasant smell and the cool temperatures. So at least we were thankful for that. But most of the time when we have hurricanes, it is in the summer and like the hottest part, and you really just can't survive without air conditioner here. Yeah, and Annihilation is so good. Yeah, that's my question. Like, why do they keep going? And maybe I'll get my answer at some point in this book. I know it's a like there's the Southern Reach trilogy, and then I think there have been some books even after that. And the author of Annihilation and the Southern Reach trilogy is Jeff Vandermeer. Yeah, I would not go. I believe I would you know, take caution because I would be aware of what happened to everybody else. And I'm a curious person, but I think after all those horrific repercussions for people who went to Area X, I would say no, thank you, um, for sure. Oh, yay! That'll be so nice. You'll get that reading time and a little time with your spouse. Yay for pickleball. You are faithful to play pickleball, Eleanor. So I think we will go to our first sprint now. So it is, I say it's about a quarter after. So we'll come back at just the next hour, like on the dot. So for me, that will be at 10, and we will see you all again in about 45 minutes. Happy self care sprint. Hey everyone. So let us know what you got up to during that self-care sprint. I did get I got my oatmeal cookie bars mixed up and in the oven, so they'll be ready in a little while. Be perfect just in time for dessert after lunch today. Hey, Elaine, it's great to see you here. How are you today? Ooh, Mothman Prophet. That sounds good. I haven't read that yet, but I have watched the Richard Gere, Laura Linney movie, The Mothman Prophecies, but the book probably provides a lot more detail. Yay, Elaine. Hello, Kat. I hope Luna had a good vet visit. I hope she did well and got a good report, and happy you're able to pop in. So, like I said, I got the oatmeal bars mixed up and put in the oven to bake. And I did listen to some more of Annihilation while I was baking, and I am still enjoying it. It's just really it's uncanny, and it's got that eeriness, like you don't really know what is going on in Area X and what these explorers are seeing, and they're not even sure what they're seeing. So I love that kind of stuff where you're put into this place that doesn't follow the rules of nature the way we would normally think it does. So I really like that kind of stuff. So I am enjoying it so far. Yeah, I had not watched that movie until a couple of months ago. So I finally watched it and I thought it was very interesting. I wasn't exactly sure sometimes what was happening, but that's fine because as a, huge fan of David Lynch, I am perfectly okay with dream logic and surrealism and not knowing exactly what's happening, but just knowing I'm enjoying what's happening, even if I don't, even if I don't know what it is. Some more Hope and Luna as well. Okay, that does sound like an interesting book. Oh yes, they're always exhausted after that vet visit, so I'm glad she got all her things taken care of. Yeah, Gandalf, my dog, he doesn't really he's fine once we get him in there to the vet, but he's a big old baby, which is so funny because he's part pit bull. But when we get to the vet, he refuses to go across that threshold into the actual office. So I have to pick him up and carry him because even with the leash, he's not going to cross that threshold. I have to pick him up and take him in there, which is always funny. And now Karma, my cat, she is, she doesn't love the vet, but she's fine. She'll go in and deal with it. Frere, on the other hand, is the nightmare pet at the vet. They are all like, oh, they love Frere because you can't help but love him. But when they, see Frere has an appointment, they're like, oh no, because Frere turns into the most feral, evil cat ever when he goes to the vet. As soon as I have him in his carrier and we go into the office and he knows where we are, he starts hissing and doing that deep growl that cats do. And it's been, gosh, it's probably been like a year ago. But Frere got an eye infection because my daughter's cat, she brought my she brought her cat over and they were like play fighting. And my daughter's cat scratched Frere in the eye. So I had to take him to the vet to take care of his eye. And because of his reputation, the vet said, well, we're going to have to sedate him before we, put in any treatment and stuff in his eye. And I said, yeah. So they had a shot, to give him a little sedative. And so the vet asked the tech in there, he said, now, have you got a good grip on Frere? Because Frere is not happy. So she's like, yeah, I got him. But she did not have him. So when the vet went to put the, shot in Frere to give him a little bit of sedative, Frere literally like went airborne off that table and jumped out and like clawed the vet right in the face. It was horrible. Absolutely horrible. So Frere, like he is my most cuddly cat. Karma, well, she'll cuddle every once in a while. But now Frere is my all cuddles, all loving cat, but he takes on a whole different persona in the vet. So I dread every time I have to take him in. And so do the people at the vet's office because it's terrible. It's terrible. Yeah, I agree. Taking a nap after all that. I like to take naps after I go to the doctor too. There you go, scheduling that blood work. That's self-care, taking care of those health things that we have to take care of. Yes. That's it, they just take on a different personality because they don't like what's happening and they are scared and mad and they're going to make sure everybody knows it. I feel like I have to apologize, to the vet every time we go in with a prayer. I'm like, I'm sorry. I promise you he's the sweetest, most loving cat at home. I don't know what happens to him here, but he's not happy at all. He's rather scary. So we have come to the end of comments. It's about 10 after the hour. So I'll say we'll return at like 55 after this hour. That'll give us about 45 minutes. So let me see if I already have a banner that says 55. If not, we will make it happen. Let me fix it up. All right. Happy self care, and I will see you all in about 45 minutes. Hi, Sue. Sleeping in is very good for you. Very much an act of self care. Two different places, and they take their personalities with them. Hello and welcome back. Let me know what you got up to during that self-care sprint. So I got the oatmeal cookie bars out of the oven, and yes, I had to sample a few and make sure that they tasted okay, and they are delicious. And then I listened to some more of Annihilation while I washed dishes. And then I cleaned out the cat litter. So that was my self-care sprint. Uh, the best parts, of course, were listening to Annihilation and having some oatmeal cookie bars. Very good. Hey, Alicia, I'm glad you can make it today. Painting bookcases, yeah, in section. It is too hot outside. I was talking about that earlier. It's just it's miserable, and I'm thankful for air conditioner because, like I talked about before, people experiencing that heat wave in Europe, a lot of them don't have air conditioner, and it's been fatal for a lot of them, and it's just devastating. But I will be glad when summer is over and we get to some fall weather and official spooky season. But you know, it's always spooky season in my heart and in my home, which a lot of you here probably feel the same way. I got some other spooky friends in here for sure. So let me check some more comments. There, look on the ball. Got that blood work scheduled. Good for you, Kat. Getting back into your reading. Ooh, the fairy door. I love that. I love it. Yeah, definitely. If you are painting outside, Alicia, definitely keep doing it in sections because it is way too hot to be outdoors for a long period of time. And some hellos and highs. Yeah, I'm in Alabama, so you know, I'm on the Alabama Gulf Coast, so our fall is, you know, we get some fall. Of course, I would like more fall and definitely more vibrant fall foliage. We get some, but yeah, it's definitely a lot better than summer here. I just hate summer so much. And some more hellos and hi. Look at you. You were on it too today, Steve. Fed the cats, cleaned the litter. We were on the same wavelength there. Had breakfast and 29 pages in the Haunted Homecoming. I have not heard of that, but I like that title. I like haunted spaces in fiction. That is true. June really did go by fast, and I'm all about it. If the summer can just speed right on by, that would make me very, very happy. Because I do like October is my favorite month because of spooky season, because of the weather, Halloween. But also, I have a special reason to be excited about October this year because my first grandbaby is due in October. So we are getting closer and closer to welcoming Scarlet into the world. So, an extra reason to be excited. And hellos and highs. Yeah, I'm also, you know, counting down the days until school starts again because you all know, of course, I love Brenna, but when she's here all day, every day, it gets stressful because she does require pretty much all of my time and energy. So, and she misses school too. Like she likes going to school. So I'm really thankful for that too, that the school makes her happy because she's asked some days she'll go, bus, bus, where's the bus? I'm like, I know, baby, I know. So I try to like, you know, at least sometimes just get her in the car and take her on a little ride around for a few minutes, listen to her music, and just to get her out a little bit. And then when Tim is here, of course, I can actually go, with him, and the two of us can take Rena like out to eat, or other places like that. But it's to the point where it's really difficult for me to manage Rena by myself if we go out and about. But so sometimes we will just get in the car and ride just for a little bit so she can have a little out of the house time, because she gets a little cabin fever too, for sure. And then it's too hot for us to even sit outside. Like, we love to sit outside when the weather's nice, on our back patio back there where we have, patio furniture and stuff. But it's way too hot. Like, we can't do it now. So that also takes away something else that she likes to do. Okay, cozy mystery Southern ghost hunters. See, that sounds very good. Sounds like a great summerween read. Thank you. Yes, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to spoil little Scarlet, which we're already spoiling her. We've been spoiling her pretty much ever since we knew she was on her way. We've been getting things here and there, and I cannot wait. So excited. So excited. So I think we came to the end of comments now. So it's a little after 11, but we'll just go ahead and come back at like 11:45. So that'll give us almost 45 minutes. So I will put on the banner. I say 11:45, but clearly it's 45 minutes after whatever hour you're on right now. And it might help if I actually put the right banner up. All right, see you all in about 45 minutes. Happy self care sprint. Hello, everyone. So, let me know what you got up to during that last sprint of our time together today. And let's see, what did I do? I had lunch and did a little bit of reading and listening to what am I listening to? Annihilation. And I'm still enjoying it. Again, stopping to take notes. I went ahead and ordered from Pango a physical copy of Annihilation because that's going to be a lot easier for me when I get ready to write about it. But I'm still going to take notes while I listen. That way, I think it'll help me go back to some of those sections in the book when I get ready to write about it. So let me know what you got up to during that last time together. And I'm going to go ahead and put the banner as a reminder of what we chat about at the end about ways to fit self care into each of our days. Hello, hello. It's great to see you. Sorry you kind of dropped in at the end, but I'm glad that you were able to come on and hit the like button. That is very, very much appreciated. So thank you so much for that. So let's see. My plans for the rest of the day are to do some more reading, possibly do some writing on another thing I'm working on, and just kind of take it easy a little bit still. Just a lot going on in my life right now, and I have to give myself a lot of time to rest and not to overdo things and overwhelm myself because things are already overwhelming to me now anyway. Yeah, that second cup of coffee. Still reading. Oh yeah, your live show tonight. So Kat's going to be on Isabel at Isabel Reed's live show tonight, and they're going to be talking about the ending rights itself. So make sure you check out Kat's channel and Isabel's channel too. I'm sure that y'all have a good discussion. I didn't get a chance to read the ending rights itself, but I know y'all will do a fabulous discussion. That's nice. Chatting, reading, and then doing some chatting with your daughter. Love it. Ooh, lost my comment section. It spun around too quick. Yeah, good luck. I hope you get the book finished and make phone calls. I hope they're not too stressful. I know there are certain phone calls I hate to make, even if it's something as simple as like making a doctor's appointment or calling in a refill for a prescription. I just sometimes don't even like doing that. And it's so silly because I'm like very much an adult woman, but some of those little tasks like that still, for some reason, I don't like to do them. There you go, Alicia, getting those bookcases painted. You are on it. Oh no. Well, you got to take a break then. You don't really have much of a choice when the storms start rolling in. Yes, I don't blame you. You have probably done more than enough for one day. So just let yourself come in and chill out a little bit as much as we can as moms and people just taking care of everything. Very nice. I'm glad to hear that you're enjoying it. It's always hard if you have to, talk about a book you didn't really care for, especially when you're on somebody else's channel. So I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yes, me too. Like, I'd rather text, but now if I have the chance, sorry, that was Frere in my window. I just talked about how sweet he was, but he's taking up residence in my window right here above my computer. and he keeps knocking stuff out of it. So that made me jump. So he knocked something down out of the window. Anyway, yeah, I do. I would rather talk to somebody in person. I like that, but there's just something about the phone that I'm not just not a big fan of. And Kat said, way to go, Alicia. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you all being here. And if you are going to be catching us on the replay, then I very much appreciate you too. So we will not have self-care sprints next Tuesday. I have a doctor's appointment, and so I will not be home next Tuesday. So no sprints next Tuesday, but we'll have them again that following Tuesday, which will be the 14th. But also on Sunday, July 12th, we have our summer virtual tea party. You know, I did one in the spring and everybody liked it so much. We decided I would do seasonal virtual tea parties. So we will have a summer virtual tea party on Sunday, July 12th. I think it starts at 12 my time. But I can pop that in real quick before we go. So let me go do that so I don't forget. I can pop it into our chat real quick. I say real quick, it depends on how quick my computer pulls stuff up like I want it to. So, yes, it will be Sunday, July 12th, starting at 12 p.m. Central Time. And that'll be a virtual tea party where we will just drink tea together or coffee, wine, water, soda, whatever you want to drink. And I'll probably read a few poems while we're talking together. So, just again, no sprints next Tuesday, but on Sunday, July 12th, the virtual tea party, and sprints again on the 14th. Oh, yeah. I mean, you can't, right? You can't help sometimes when the weather doesn't cooperate with you, you have to kind of make those adjustments and things are out of your control. So you just got to roll with the flow. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And that is the link for the virtual tea party. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day or night, wherever you may be. And thanks again for attending Sprint, whether you did it live or the replay. Bye, everybody.